Our story today is called The Captain of the Storm. The sun was going down. The air was warm and still. "Let's go across the lake," Jesus said to his friends. How many of y'all have ever been to the lake? I have. It's lots of fun. Jesus had been helping people all day, and now he was tired. So they left the crowds at the shore and set out in a small fishing boat. Jesus climbed into the boat to take a nap. As soon as his head touched the pillow, he fell fast asleep. How many of y'all have ever been that tired that when you first hit your bed, you fall right asleep? Yeah, I have too. It was a beautiful evening. A gentle breeze rustled the sails. The friends were chatting happily as they headed out into the middle of the lake. Everything was perfect, just right for a nice, quiet sail. They were only about halfway across when, out of nowhere, whirling winds swept across the lake, fierce and strong, like a hurricane. Who knows what a hurricane is? Yeah, it's a big storm. A blinding flash of lightning lit up the sky. Thunder roared right ahead. The storm blew the water into towering waves that hurled the little boat up, 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 then sent it hurtling, crashing back down, down, down. The fishing boat was blown and buffeted and tossed and turned, back and forth and up and down and left and right and round and round. And in the middle of the storm, Jesus was sleeping. Do you think he could have been sleeping through all of that? I don't think I could. Now, Jesus' friends had been fishermen all their lives, but in all their years fishing on this lake, they had never once seen a storm like this. No matter how hard they struggled with their ropes and sails, they couldn't get control of their boat. This storm was too big for them. But this storm wasn't too big for Jesus. Is anything too big for Jesus? No, of course not. "Help!" they screamed. "Wake up! Quick, Jesus!" Jesus opened his eyes. "Rescue us! Save us!" they shrieked. "Don't you care?" Of course Jesus cared. And this was the very reason he had come, to rescue them and to save them. Jesus stood up and spoke to the storm. "Hush," he said, "that's all." And then the strangest thing happened. The wind and the waves recognized Jesus' voice. They had heard it before, of course. It was the same voice that made them in the very beginning. They listened to Jesus, and they did what he said. Immediately, the wind stopped. The water calmed down. It glittered innocently in the moonlight and lapped quietly against the side of the boat, as if nothing had happened. The little boat bobbed gently up and down. There was a deep stillness and a great quiet all around. Then Jesus turned to his wind-torn friends. "Why are you scared?" he asked. "Did you forget who I am? Did you believe your fears instead of me?" Jesus' friends were quiet as the wind and the waves, and into their hearts came a different kind of storm. "What kind of man is this?" they asked themselves anxiously. "Even the winds and the waves obey him," they said, because they didn't understand. They didn't realize yet that Jesus was the Son of God. Jesus' friends had been so afraid they had only seen the big waves. They had forgotten if Jesus was with them, then they had nothing to be afraid of, no matter how small their boat or how small the storm. Okay, so that's the end of our story, and now we're going to do our craft. So today for our craft, we are going to make the little sailboat that Jesus and his disciples were fishing on during the big giant storm. First, you're going to need 2 pieces of construction paper, and at least one of them needs to be blue. And if you don't have a blue one, it's okay. You can always just draw with markers. Okay, so you're going to take your first piece of construction paper, and if it's white, you're going to want to color it blue about halfway across the paper. Color it blue about halfway across the paper, and then when you're done with that, you're going to want to cut it out. Okay, when you get done with it, it should look a little something like this. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to take that same piece of construction paper, and then you're going to take your green marker and then color a little bit smaller of the piece of the paper. So it needs to be smaller than your blue, and then cut that out. Okay, now your green strip should look a little something like this. And next what you're going to do is you're going to tape this to the bottom of your blue. Make sure you only tape the ends and leave the middle free so that our boat can fit through there. So in the end, it should look a little something like this. So next what you're going to do is you're going to tape this to your background, whatever color background you have. You're going to tape it onto there so it looks something like this. So next we're going to start building our boat. So what you want to use for your boat is if you have popsicle sticks. I didn't have ones long enough, so what I did was I taped 2 of them together so that they could be long enough for my boat. But you could use anything like straws or popsicle sticks or just whatever you have around your house. Okay, so now that you have your popsicle sticks taped together, what you're going to do next is you're going to take some scrap paper from what you used earlier in the craft, and then you're going to cut out the outline of the bottom of the boat, and then you're going to cut the outline of your sails. For the bottom of the boat, I just made like a little half circle and then colored it orange. And then for the sails, I just made 2 triangles and then put them together at the top. So it looks something like this. So now that you have your sailboat and your ocean all together, what you're going to do next is you're going to put them together. So you're going to stick this through that little opening that we left open from the green part so that it looks something like this. And now you can move your sailboat all around your sea so that it looks real. And then also what I did was I drew some clouds and then some rain coming out of it so that it looks better. So you can draw and make your own designs however you want. Okay, so that was our story, and now this is our craft. So thank you for watching and have a great Sunday.